Hey guys, it's Lord here, back again with another review. Today we'll be taking a look at the MEGO Corp Mummy. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty guys, as I said before, today we're taking a look at the Mummy. He is brought to us by the fine folks over at MEGO Corp. And no, this is not the Boris Karloff Mummy from the Universal Studios movie from the 1930s. This is a generic mummy, much like the Mr. Heidi I looked at a few weeks ago now. And the Invisible Man, the Headless Horseman, and even the Target release of Frankenstein and the werewolf or the Wolfman. And then there was a Dracula that was glow in the dark that was kind of a generic MEGO style figure. This is no different than all of those, although I will say it does one thing another figure didn't do quite so well. Pretty decent here. So we will get into that. But first and foremost, he does come with an accessory, which was actually still in his hand. I kept the clear elastic on it. Probably should have, but I kind of like having him pose like this. Comes with a little Anubis jar, which I think is awesome. That's a nice touch. This is the type of thing that they would scoop out the pharaoh or whoever was getting buried. They would scoop out their organs and put them in these jars. I'm sure those taste great nowadays. I'm sure the stank is plenty in the old crypts of Egypt, but I will say right now, it's a little small. And I mean, I get it, it's a MEGO figure, but this is more in scale with maybe 5-inch figures. This should be the size of his lower leg, to be honest with you. Or like half his leg. Somewhere around there, and it's not even close. It's really small. For this scale anyways. I'm sure you could get it to fit with something else, but I'll probably just have this sitting by his feet. So there's that. But looking at the mummy himself, really like this figure. I love how this guy turned out. He is an old release. He came out with the Phantom of the Opera I looked at the other day, but it's not a bad thing. He looks awesome. Look at that face. Arrgh! Coin! Coin! Yeah, he kind of reminds me of the mummy from Scooby-Doo. Either way, articulation on this guy. His head will rotate side to side a little bit. His shoulders will move up and down a little bit. He's got the elbow hinge. Really nice tight joints on this guy, too. Wrists will hinge and rotate. Legs go in and out a little bit, forward and back. He does have a diaphragm joint. Does have a single hinge at the knee. Then he does have a hinge at the foot. Now he does have a lot of like kind of gauze wrappings on him, and I would not be surprised if they just take this figure, and I don't even know if they'd give him different hands, but I would not be surprised if this is essentially what the Boris Karloff mummy's going to look like, but with a Boris Karloff inspired head on it. It would not surprise me in the slightest. I will say he does have some loose wrappings on him. He's got one on his hip here, and he's got a couple here and there throughout the figure. But I will say, I think he does the wrapping thing a lot better than the Bride of Frankenstein. I will say he has the benefit of not needing to be so nice and neat. Like he's got one just kind of dangling by his foot there. But what they did on this guy is a lot better than what they did on the Bride of Frankenstein. They used much thicker wraps, probably because it's a male figure, but these don't feel quite as flimsy as the Bride of Frankenstein, and I will get into why that is. Let me talk about a couple of size comparisons here. there he is. He looks pretty cool just standing there, too. But first and foremost, we'll compare him to Mr. Hyde, who actually uses the same hands. It's kind of funny. But there you go. There's Mr. Hyde. You can see how he scales with him. Looks pretty good. And then we have my sleeveless Bride of Frankenstein. Because the gauze wrappings, when I went to take the picture for her URL, just totally fell off. And the sleeves frayed so bad, it was just easier to snip them. They were just frayed so horribly. So, yeah, if you get this figure... If you get this figure, maybe either leave it on card or don't move the arms at all. I am going to get this fixed, however. It's going to cost a little bit, like $4 shipping, but I am going to send this to Dr. MEGO so he can replace her gauze under suit there. The gauze part of her costume, because this thing is too far gone to even worry about fixing the one she's got. I mean, it would take too damn long at this point to fix that. But as long as I get it fixed, I don't care. And then we also got to get out our two regulars here. Get the Mortal Kombat Spawn, who I got around the same time as this guy, now that I think about it. And where is he? Oh, there he is. I rearranged some of the stuff behind camera, so it's all kind of discombobulated. There you go. Brother Mandibulus. With Legion's Brother Mandibulus. There. Obviously, the mummy's going to be taller than them. Get in there. There we go. Now, obviously, the mummy's going to be taller than them. He is an 8-inch MEGO figure, after all. It also appears that maybe they put a bit of a wash on this guy. Like, they drew some lines, especially on the torso. The torso doesn't seem to be wrapped. It seems like they just added some wraps and tied them on the arms and on the legs, which is fine by me. Again, I think it's a better way to do it. But I guess we'll put his little organ jar next to him. But if you are at all interested in mummy figures, or just the horror figures from MEGO, or even the generic monster figures from MEGO, I would highly recommend you pick this guy up. Again, like the Phantom of the Opera, I don't know where you can get this guy still. Maybe ZLC Collectibles has him. I would advise, if you want this guy, go check there, because I'm pretty sure... last I knew, he was sold out on BBTS quite a long time ago, so... yeah, if you want this guy, you better get on it quick before he, becomes actually worth a little bit of money, like the Khan from Star Trek. I think that's kind of an expensive figure now, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, that's about it for the mummy. Oh, that's funny. One of his bandages is kind of hanging in his crotch. That's pretty funny. That, or I'm just immature. Probably both. Either way, I would highly recommend you pick this guy up. I think he's awesome. I think he's really cool looking. And he's a fun figure. And again, if you want to keep that jar in his hand, he does come tied to his hand via a clear elastic band. But who cares about all that? So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. We got more MEGOs on the way. I got the Headless Horseman coming next. Yeah, buddy! One of my personal favorites. And we'll probably go into some more modern horror stuff, because it's kind of tapped on the Universal Monsters end of the spectrum at this point. But as always, don't forget to hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions for live unboxing videos. In case you miss them, I do upload them to IGTV afterwards, so you can watch them in their full train wrecked glory. But also don't forget to leave a comment section below. Let me know if you like this figure, if you don't like this figure, if you want this figure, if you're jonesing for this figure, or if you don't want this figure and you're going to pass on this figure. Maybe you want the Boris Karloff mummy more. I completely get that. It's totally understandable, but I like these generic monsters as well. I think it's a really fun figure, and I like it. So, with that being said, also, don't forget to keep the comments civil. This world sucks enough as it is. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Not walking like an Egyptian, by the way. Song's garbage.